Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today had a practice with my boys and two of them here, Miles and Gabi. So these are '06 group here, and I guess last year for the universities, right? So you guys coming out, and yeah, just want to kind of talk to you guys just in general, how you feel about Canadian soccer in general and your development personally. We're gonna touch a little bit on trip to Spain, Valencia that we did recently in April. Yeah, I guess you guys can start. Like, how long you guys been in soccer? So, Gabi and Miles, whoever wants to start.
Well, I started soccer when I was like three, just with, like dribbling with the ball and like sports ball, and from there I played house league and I got recommended to like pre-competitive kind of program at Oakville, and then yeah, I just kind of trained there, and I like work on my individual skills. It's very like an individual like mindset in that club where it's like focus on your individual drills and like your dribbling and stuff like that. And I've moved around a couple of times, but in the end, it's just always been like individual. I had some good experiences with other teams, but it's like more teamwork. But overall, it's just been like changing from competitive team to competitive team.
So I started playing as a kid, from as long as I can remember, and then I didn't actually start playing competitively until I was probably about 13 or 14, just around when COVID hit. From there, I played competitively for a few different teams, just kind of bouncing around from skill level. Um, teams would kind of fall apart, and that's when I would move. But I found that I've just been improving on my own the most, as well as with different coaches and see how their play style works.
Okay. So my question to, in general, just the way you see it, like I know you guys, you're not going pro. You guys going professional, not going professional. You're not going pro. I know that. You guys going right now in university, and just in general, like in terms of your soccer development, being in soccer in Canada for so long, do you feel that you could have done better and I don't know, maybe go semi-pro level or pro level, and what would make a difference in your development in general? Is it a coach? Is this like working on your own? Is this more playing time? Is like, what do you think would be a different for you?
I feel like just from like a younger age, maybe working more on teamwork, because maybe like more like team play, because it's very individual, working on your own individual skills. So when you try and go into a game and you try to do individual skills, at the end of the day, it won't work out. There's 11 players on the field. So I feel like maybe work from a younger age, getting that teamwork going, get that play style, that chemistry, where you know that if like this person goes up, then you go back, and vice versa. But just kind of like that chemistry is important, and that's something I feel like is very lacking in like younger ages, because it's hard to just kind of get them to muscle memory once you're older.
For me, a big thing probably would have been taking it seriously at a younger age. So, like I said, I didn't actually start playing competitively until probably 13 or 14. So, I think, had I taken it seriously at a younger age, I would have had a lot of those basic skills that kids have already had when I started playing down. So, I spent a lot of my time kind of building those skills that all these other kids had, as well as building the new skills. And I think another thing would have been finding a team that had like a 15 dedicated players. A lot of times, the issue I found was there were people not skipping training, or that it wasn't serious enough, or like there were always just minor issues with like how serious the team was taking it, and that's kind of what held me back, because you can't have two or three guys taking it seriously. It needs to be the entire team.
Okay, that's a very solid response. And talking about your current level and where you guys at, just in general, like recently, obviously, I'm your coach. We went to Spain. For me, as a coach, I felt like you did pretty well in three different games, because three different games were three different levels. One was like more or less equivalent to you guys. Second was like kind of lower level, but the third one was pretty good. But yet, even in the third one was a tough game for us with injuries. But I felt like you guys did great. So you being in Spain, playing against Spanish teams, and just being coached by Spanish coaches, like overall, how do you feel? Like, is Canada super behind Spain, or like you guys think that we can compete in general if you have this proper dedication, proper motivation, proper coaching, and just a good team?
I don't think it's super behind, but if you go into focus, especially that third team, you can tell they train way more than us. I feel like they definitely train as a team at least 4 times a week, and I feel like they're like a closer group of people, like they're actually friends outside of the pitch. So they probably go to the field on their own. I just feel like that's the big difference. I feel with those like European kids compared to Canada, for example. I feel like people in Canada, they don't really dedicate to one specific thing. They do lots of different other like activities and stuff like that. But over there, I think it's soccer and that's it. So at the end of the day, when you can both be the same skill level, but just that drive to keep playing and making that sense of like community on your own team will like make the big difference. And I feel like that's the biggest gap between Canadian soccer and Spanish soccer.
I found the big gap between the two is dedication. Because like we still have some top tier Canadian players who are playing in Europe, and it's not because they had lack of coaching in Canada. It's because they were more dedicated. When we went to Spain, all these kids were dedicated all the time. Like as we were going around just for sightseeing and stuff, we saw kids playing on fields on their own, and we just saw like teams training on their own. Like it's just, I think the level of dedication is a lot more advanced, and because they have a ton of players dedicated, they don't run into the issue that I said I've run into. Like I haven't had a team that where everybody's dedicated because they have that kind of passion for the sport, and it lets them improve a lot faster because they're competing at a higher level at a younger age.
That's a pretty solid response. I like that. So for you two, where you guys going? You going which university right now?
Well, I'm going to University of Waterloo.
And you?
I'm going to Queen's University.
Are you planning to get on the team, trying to get your place in there, or how do you guys feel so far? Your
I'm
chances?
hoping to. I know the coach at Queen's just got just switched, so the coach I've been talking to for the past year doesn't really help me anymore. So I'm hoping to get in contact with a new coach and try my best to make it onto the team first year.
Yeah, same with me. I'm just trying to send emails, trying to see if I can get it like an opportunity to maybe show my skill level to them, try and get on the team. That's the aim, but I got to work hard for that, and hopefully it happens. But we'll have to see.
All right, last one is just what you guys gonna wish. So as you said, like based on your personal experience, would you wish to a player who is more or less talented and wants to go pro or semi-pro? And let's say we're talking to a player who is like 9 years old right now. What would you do differently? Imagine yourself at 9, and what would you do differently? What would you wish for that player to do?
I think work hard outside of the trainings. It's not just a 3 times a week with your team for an hour and a half. It's definitely more than that. It's like you wake up and if you have time, then instead of playing FIFA or whatever, you like go to the field and train. Because that at the end of the day will actually push you above those other players and that'll get you that notch above to get like noticed by other coaches. Just kind of be seen that's not just a 3 times a week, 90 minutes training, maybe one game. It's hard work off that and on your own time as well.
Kind of to touch on that, take the skills that you're taught in training and perfect those on your own. Most coaches, or at least Victor, has worked to give us different skills or different like techniques to work on in training. Each training has its own focus. If you take that and work on it outside of training on your own and perfect that, then it's going to make it a lot easier to advance quicker. And then you can focus more on tactics and stuff, and it's not so much getting the basics or the technical work down. And then on top of that, it's just how fit you are, how much you can run, and how well you can shield the ball.
Solid response, gentlemen. Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you on Thursday in practice, and I'll see you guys soon. Next video. Thank you. Not bad.